right.
Um,
We're out of practice.
Yeah, for real.
yeah.
Welcome back to Star Wars Total Rewatch, where we watch Ewoks and Ewoks watch you.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look now. But
Standing in the window behind you.
Mhm.
It's an Ewok.
yeah, thanks for tuning in again. We're out of practice. This is the first episode we've actually recorded since Rise of Skywalker came out.
Yeah.
We took a break over Christmas.
We've been busy with the holidays, and now we're back at the helm, recording more.
We had a backlog of episodes that we were releasing, so we know all kinds of new things about Star Wars now.
Things that we never thought we would know.
There were Ewoks in Rise of Skywalker.
There was.
Spoiler.
That was the best part. Is the Ewoks panned down, and I was waiting. I was trying to see which Ewoks it was, trying to hear if I could hear a yub or a nub.
I think since being in the midst of this Ewok series and then seeing that at the end of episode 9, I was like way more excited to see them than I probably would be.
Yeah. It was, pretty surreal because you thought we would never see Ewoks ever again.
On the big screen.
But oh boy.
Oh boy, they were, I don't know if you've seen the movie yet, but they're all over that movie.
Seriously, they're a pivotal point in that movie.
In fact, all the main characters in this movie are actually played by Ewoks.
That's right, this whole movie is actually just C-3PO acting out what happened with the sound effects and everything.
It's a reenactment by Ewoks.
Got one guy dressed as Luke.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Well, we'd have to, and then record a podcast about it.
You're right. We would have to. You wouldn't. So today's episode is called Blue Harvest from November 23rd of 1985. But longtime Star Wars fans may know that Blue Harvest is like a working title for episode 6.
What?
Did you not know this? After Star Wars was popular, because for the first one, nobody knew what Star Wars was, so they didn't have to worry about, like, people crashing the set and everything. At least this is what I've heard, is that for Return of the Jedi, they were trying to kind of keep things a secret. They didn't want people to know what movie was being filmed. Is that right?
Yeah, the working title of Return of the Jedi was Blue Harvest. Horror beyond imagination.
Well, I think they were trying to pretend they were filming a different movie to keep their secrets. They didn't want people seeing what was happening.
Yeah, it was a made-up horror film.
Mm-hmm. Whereas nowadays, with the internet and Facebook and whatnot, so there's no way you can keep anything
There's
a
still
secret.
stuff that...
Very difficult.
I mean, stuff will get leaked and whatever. But...
Well, what was it for the Force Awakens? They gave everybody scripts that each had like different typos in it, so that if it got leaked, they would know who it was to dissuade anyone from doing it.
And then they would proceed to sue them.
I guess so. I don't know.
Don't break NDAs, folks. It's not worth it.
No.
But this episode is not a made-up horror movie. It's not really very good.
Nope, I'm gonna have to give it a nub right off the bat.
Yeah, this might be one of the nubbiest nubs. Sadly.
This episode has no Wikipedia summary.
Well, I mean, it's got everything you would, everything you love about these shows.
Oh, yeah.
You've got flogs.
Yeah,
We remember they were great.
Those were the big giant babies. Well, there was one big baby, but they're big, pretty much giants.
Uh-huh, and you've got love potions. So you know this is just gonna be good already. Why are we doing this again?
Perfect combination.
But this episode starts off with Wicket and Tebow delivering a wagon full of bountiful harvest.
Wagon full of pancakes.
We were making all the strong bad references.
It looks like basketballs.
It's like giant pumpkins, pretty much. more round.
Yeah.
Why is this episode called Blue Harvest? I mean, I know that we just talked about where the name came from, but like, why this episode?
I think because there was a
There's
harvest
a
going on. It
harvest.
was the harvest time.
What's blue?
Was it the potion? Was that the potion, the love potion? that was
Literally
blue?
the only reason.
Oh yeah, the love potion was blue. Okay.
Oh, quick summary. The Dulocs are upset because they didn't prepare for harvest, so they want to steal the Ewoks' harvest, so they capture a Vorshak, which is some giant beaver type thing, and set it to destroy the Ewok village. But they stop it by pouring a love potion on it, which causes it to be super happy and just kind of run away. So then the Dulocs steal the love potion, thinking it's a hate potion, and pour it on a flog. And the flog then falls in love with Wicket, and then hijinks ensue, and the Dulocs take over, and then the flog comes back to its senses and kicks the Dulocs out.
That's about it.
What happened to that tooth creature?
The Vorshak
We never saw it again.
just kind of rolls around. It's
It
all.
frolicked off into the woods somewhere.
Vorshak.
It's pretty much a giant beaver, but really furry. 2 big giant buck teeth
Mhm.
that it uses for chewing bark off of
Yeah.
trees.
So the Dulocs set it on the Ewoks, like to try to tear down their village.
Bark eaters.
Bark eaters, huh?
It's a nickname. It's a slang that the Ewoks give the Vorshak.
Well, they do eat bark.
The Dulocs are just trying to steal the Ewoks' harvest because they forgot to plant their own.
Yep. Literally what he said.
Isn't that
If the
great?
Dulocs put half the effort into like sustaining their own population as they do in trying to steal stuff from the Ewoks, they would be just fine.
So yeah, they were stealing the harvest while the Vorshak was distracting the Ewoks. The Ewoks outsmarted that, no problem, and then the Dulocs had to hide here.
And so they immediately say, okay, so what's the next plan to get rid of the Ewoks so we can steal their harvest again?
Right, yeah. They overhear about the love potion, but also about a rage potion. Here we see the donkey.
Yeah, that blue donkey thing that they've got.
He has a name and everything.
What's his name? Baga?
Yeah, that sounds correct. He saves the day by throwing the grappling hook that all the Dulocs are hanging off of. He throws it over the edge and all the Dulocs fall.
I really liked the image of that big clump of Dulocs all hanging on to the one rope
Yeah.
hanging over the bridge. I was hoping to see them just fall like in that shot, but then they just showed from the bridge the rope falling.
Yeah, so then the shaman dresses up as a Tolga, which is everybody I'm sure remembers, is the race that the witch was.
Morag the witch.
Morag, yeah, she was a
Oh,
Tolga.
that's what he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But honestly, he looks like the Jungle Book. He looked like Baloo's costume when he's dressed up as the monkeys.
Yeah, he kind of does. He kind of just looks like a Duloc wearing a cape.
Yeah, I know. He's pretending to be another shaman, a friend of Logray's.
Yeah, but like they know who he is. They've met him several times.
It's such a good disguise. And he's singing this song as he comes in. It's great.
Bum bum chow, bum bum chow, bum bum chow, digga digga ooga dooga day, dum bum chow, bum bum chow.
Now I get to add that song in.
Oh yeah, add that in. It's great.
Pretty good song.
Makes me think of Arrested Development chicken dance.
Cuckoo-ca-chow.
Ka-chow.
Yeah, he just kind of like barges past the Ewoks.
Oh, yeah, he's really pushy here. They're like, hey, you can't come in.
Yeah, and like they're trying to stop him.
Yeah.
I don't. There's so many things where people get irrationally angry at other people, even though it's not their fault. Like later, they're like, "How could dare you let the shaman guy into the hut?"
Well,
Like he's just
they didn't.
pushing past
Like
them.
they kind of did their best
tried.
to keep him out, but they're kids. You're leaving like a couple of 9-year-olds in charge of your like weapons supply. Like what?
that contains like doomsday weapons.
Right. So, I mean, who is really at fault here? So, again, Logray never labels anything. And he never has an antidote for anything. He doesn't have a very good system for a lot of very dangerous things that he just
Right.
has laying around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he thinks he's getting this rage potion. His plan is to go find a flog, right?
Yeah. Yeah, find
Which-
a flog.
Correct.
we know and love, and make it angry and thinking then it will destroy the Ewok village.
He was going to try to lure it there. So yeah, he finds a flog, some lady flog, like a teenage girl flog.
Yeah, she's a real character. But of course he took the love potion instead of the rage potion.
Like, before they even said what the potions were, he just has 2 different potions of different colors, and you kind of know it's just a matter of time before they get mixed up.
Oh yeah. It's the same with the soap in that other episode. It's like,
Yeah.
of course they're gonna get those mixed up. That's the pinnacle of all comedy.
And this show is the pinnacle of all comedy.
Mistaken identity.
The flog falls in love with him, of course.
First, it falls in love with a rock.
Oh,
and then
right.
with a tree.
What does she say to this?
Shemshi.
Does she say the same thing to everything?
It's like a word in her language.
Oh, Shamsi. Shamsi Garb. Oh.
Shebshi garb.
Because then she says Shebshi Dulak.
Yeah.
It must mean like, oh, my sweet little...
We could learn words for different things.
Oh, that's just what we need. If we can learn to
There's
speak
the
flog.
language.
I mean,
yeah.
you know, it could come in handy to know a few key phrases.
Yeah, I suppose if you ever run across a flog, it'd be good, nice to know how to communicate.
Yeah, if you're ever traveling through the indoor system.
Yeah. Basic travel phrases.
You could really get in a bad situation if you couldn't speak flog.
So the Duloc runs back to the Ewok place, and then she falls in love with Wicket.
Yeah, immediately. She sticks with him, though, so I don't know why.
Yeah, because before she was just jumping to the next thing that she saw, but she just got stuck on Wicket.
Wicked says, afternoon, miss.
Wiki?
Wiki?
Wiki woo?
Wiki Woo. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I do.
What?
man. Wow. It's like a Flash animation game.
Yeah, everybody go look up Wiki woo. It's classic.
Play WikiWoo free on free arcade.
Yep.
Oh,
That
wow.
was a good game.
Yeah.
So it's a side-scrolling.
We're a game review podcast now, as of the second.
Reviewing all the greats on freearcadegames.com.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I only review free Flash games.
I thought that was funny. When Tebow's like, Wicket, what are you doing? The flog is just squeezing him. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm romancing a flog. What does it look like?
He's like, what has gotten into you, Wicked?
Yeah, Tebow goes, he's what?
Thinks he's like, seriously.
And then Milani's like, how dare you, you two-timer.
Yeah, she's jealous of him.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm trying to save the village. Come on, Milani.
Just those kind of,
They're very quick to react to things.
yeah. Even though everybody, they were like, Wicket, you have to stay with the flog so it doesn't, like, destroy our village. And then he gets stolen by the Dulocs, so she goes on another rampage.
Replacing Wicked with a little doll. Ewok.
And they're like, what happened to Wicket? And they're like, oh, he must have left because he couldn't take it. What a jerk. How dare he? Like, what? Why do you think Wicket would do that? You know, it's those kind of actions that caused me to give this episode a nub.
That's why.
That's the only reason.
That and there were flogs.
I just think
Irritating.
it is, but that's like a secondary thing. It's like, oh, also that bothered me. But like, I feel like almost everything in this episode bothered me.
Yeah. That does happen in kids' shows sometimes, though, where it's like, oh man, the adults just totally misunderstood what he was trying to do. So unfair.
Well, because then you got to prove yourself
Yeah.
and save things.
I don't know. Maybe that's something kids relate to.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they do.
These shows are made by children for children.
By Ewoks for Ewoks.
Yeah.
100% Ewok made.
So she goes to the Ewok village and is tearing the roof off of the buildings, looking for Wicket, which is this is exactly the Ewok's plan. I mean, it totally worked. And while she's distracting, they're able to sneak into the village and they like capture everybody.
Yeah, the Dulocs are sneaking around to the village and they're like snatching all the Ewoks from the shadows. Somehow they put them in a hut and they're like, you're prisoners now. And they're just like, okay.
No, it's a complete and total takeover.
Yeah.
That seems to be all it takes to get the drop on somebody, though, is to just show up behind them, because the Ewoks do the same thing to the Duloks later on. They tap them on the shoulder, and it's like, look, we're standing behind you. Now we have the upper hand somehow.
The Ewoks definitely don't give the impression that they think they're in any mortal danger here. They're just like, oh, you Duloks, get out of our village.
Yeah, again.
What does he say? Snaggletooth vermin. That's what he calls them.
I liked seeing Chirpa and the Dulok chief. What's his name? Gornish.
Yeah.
I liked seeing Chirpa and him talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like in person. They're not just carrying out schemes, secretly. It's like, we are here in your village. What you gonna do about it? When it's like the leaders of two different countries that don't get along, like when we had the summit with North Korea or something.
And they'll stand behind them and be like, haha, now we have the upper hand.
If that's how wars went.
Now we have the upper hand.
Haha.
So the Duloks decide they're going to have a feast right there in the village with the Ewoks harvest, just to rub it in. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're pretty quick to gloat, but I mean, that's not really a big surprise. But meanwhile, what's her name? The Flog girl?
Una?
She's taking Wicket back to her home in the desert. That's where they're from. And Wicket decides, or I think Logray said he could possibly snap her out of the potion somehow. So he gives her a big old kiss. And then she's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets
Snaps out of it. I
her
guess.
senses
Yeah, it was-
knocked into her or something.
A little
Just
weird.
overwhelmed.
So then she snaps out of it and she wants her revenge.
And yeah, Wicket says, yeah, let's make a plan. I'm going to whisper it in your ear for some reason, even though we're both alone out here. And he's still whispering loud enough for us to hear him.
Oh. Never mind. I was going to say it's just so the audience can't hear, but we can.
He says, you and I go back to the village.
Oh, boy.
Do you not just whisper to communicate with people like normally?
It's so dumb. So they go back to the village and they keep up this
Pretense.
the farce that she's still in love with him. Well, and Wicket's acting like he's happy about it too. He's like, yep, thanks for introducing me.
True love.
Oh, gosh, what does he say?
She's going to do a dance to show her appreciation for bringing us together. And the king is like, good, dance for us. And they all laugh. And meanwhile, the Ewoks escape and they take out all the Dulok guards.
By standing behind them.
They tap them on the shoulder and they say, haha, we have the upper hand now. The Dulok shaman was raiding Logray's hut. And here he's got some of his stuff, but on the top of the pile is the spinning top.
Mm-hmm.
That interesting.
Another great callback.
Yeah, so they have a special punishment for the shaman. They throw him in a pond with a love potion, and it attracts some swamp monster. What is that?
Like a hippo?
Like a hippo with grass on it, and like
It's a chia hippo?
the chia.
That they don't name it. They
I
don't call it
know.
anything in the episode.
The world may never know.
So there are a couple of cool creatures in this. You get that thing and you get that beaver at the beginning.
Yeah, beaver.
I mean, you know.
The Vorshak. Yeah, it's
I mean, I guess it wasn't that cool, but
the more kind of fleshing out Endor's,
yeah, the
setting
flora
and
and
fauna
fauna
and stuff like that. That I
of Endor.
enjoy.
Well,
but the rest of it.
When they introduce a creature that's like integral to the ecosystem and like actually appears more than one time in a single episode, then it's like, okay, we're seeing more things in this world. This is just like, yeah, we just made up a creature just to have something in the
Hey,
episode.
you never know. The Vorshak might show up later.
It might.
Not according to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia never lies.
Wow.
Wikipedia. I kind of feel like I forgot this is a Star Wars podcast. It feels like it's just watching Ewoks
That's all we do.
or just like nostalgia 80s cartoons or something.
Kid show
It's
podcast.
been so long, forgotten what we actually do here.
There's a world outside of Endor. I think as soon as we get through this series, everything from then on will be pretty entertaining, pretty good stuff.
We just gotta hang in there. We got one more episode left of the season.
Yep, one more season till the harvest. I feel like that's like that feels like a wrap up for this series.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, thanks for watching Ewoks.
Let's end the episode with this
Oh.
part at the end here.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping us, Huna. Believe it or not, I'm gonna miss you. Shabshi, Wiki. Kavos Fushandisham. She says, don't worry, Wiki. You'll get over me in time. It's true. I'm young.
I'm young. Yeah.
No
I like
one
that.
talks like that.
Way to be
Not
self-aware. I
even
mean,
Ewoks.
No, Wicket's got a good
Outlook?
a good outlook on things.
Yeah.
And like he's kind of joking, you know.
Yeah.
He's got a good sense of humor about himself.
I am young, and I will get over you. You're right.
But yeah, that's the end of episode 12. Yeah, episode 12, Blue Harvest.
One left in the season.
Asha. And this one actually has a plot summary, so we shall see what happens.
It started playing when I watched Blue Harvest. It just, after the episode, just started playing Asha. And like within the first 20 seconds, it was already way better than the Blue Harvest.
Oh.
Not that it took much to be better than this, but
Oh man, got my hopes up now. All right, well, did either of you give an official rating for Blue Harvest?
oh, it's a nub.
Blue Harvest, officially a nub. Yes.
All right, another triple number.
Sorry, Blue Harvest, but you gotta call it like it is.
Yeah.
All right, looking forward to Asha next time on Star Wars Total Rewalks.
All right, bye.
Yeah.